Welcome everyone at Escape Trailer. Good to have you here today. Today I have a special guest. It's Joldie. She's one of our configuration specialists. And we're talking about fabric. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about our 7 standard choices.
Sure, I'd be delighted to. So these are the 7 fabrics that we offer as standard choices for you to select from. So as Daryl's panning, we start at the end with a Chinchilla. It's an ultra leather, which is one of our top probably 3 offerings. Next, we have the Kelso Champagne, which has been a standard fabric for escape trailers for years, probably 10 plus years. Summit Ash is followed, and it's a lovely soft fabric with gray, white, and cream lines, threads that kind of run through it. It's probably our number 1 choice. And then our next is Symmetry Title. And it's a real fun fabric. It's got shades of blue and gray in it, and like a chevron pattern, which looks really nice in a trailer. Next is Tenacity Harvest. So if you're wanting something with a little more color, something that you can pull some different fun shades from, reds, orange, taupes, browns, black, for accents in your trailer or pillows. It's a fun choice as well. And then we have Monroe Steel, which is, again, top 3 choice. It's a more solid fabric, clean, looks very sharp when it's in a trailer. And then we have Velour Chocolate, which is what this trailer that we are sitting in is decked out in right now, along with another standard Formica choice. At this table, we have Mineral Jet. Mm-hmm. So these are our 7 standard offerings that we offer to our customers. And the neat thing, I think, is it's new. We've only started offering something other than Kelso Champagne within the last year. Prior to that, it was just Kelso Champagne. Kelso Champagne is, out of all of the fabrics are rated by the amount of rubs they can withstand. So the fabric company has a little machine that rubs the fabric, and that's how they determine the wear and tear. And out of our 7 choices, the Kelso Champagne has the least amount of rubs. That being said, it's also the fabric we've had around for the longest, and we see trailers that come in here, that are 10 plus years old, and Kelso Champagne has held up beautifully. So that is why we've continued to carry it. It's also very forgiving. So that's a nice little bonus, I think. The most durable as far as rub counts is the Chinchilla Ultra Leather. And it's got over 100,000 rubs on it. So it's very, very durable and a lovely material to use as well.
I have a question for you. In terms of bringing pets along, maybe dogs or cats, are there any recommendations that we can make, or pros and cons?
It's a tough one. For example, I think ultra leather is super easy to clean.
Yeah.
For one, like if you're even with children,
yes.
If you've got a young family, the ultra leather is a great option for that, because you just wipe it off and you're good to go. Mm-hmm. My concern, I think, with pets with the ultra leather would be, and it depends on the pet. A dog probably fine, but if you're traveling with cats, and we definitely have owners that do, if they still have their claws are much sharper than a dog's claws. And so my concern with the ultra leather would be almost pilling. Like, how does it puncture? Yes. What does that look like after years of traveling with a cat? Versus the rest of the fabric, which isn't an ultra leather fabric. Probably these guys, I think. So the chocolate velour and the Symmetry Title, just because of the type of fabric they are, would probably be pretty easy to wipe off as well. They've got a sheen to them.
Yes.
And I think would handle the fur really well, whereas the other 3 are a little softer and a little more plush, and may fur may adhere differently to those. So there's pros and cons, I think, to whichever choice you end up with.
Now we have the option of a full wrap cushion. Maybe tell us a little bit what that actually means.
Sure. So how the fabrics or the cushions come standard, and all of our cushions come as a 4-inch cushion, with the exception of, in this trailer, we've got a U-shaped dinette, and your back cushion is just a 2-inch cushion. So the rest of them are 4-inch, your back and your seat cushions. And how they come standard is with a vinyl back. And if you do not want a vinyl back and you would rather have your fabric wrapped all the way around, then we do have that as an option. Of course, there's a cost because there's more fabric being used for a full wrap, but that certainly is available if that's something that you're interested in. And again, I think there's pros and cons to it. Something that I think people forget is the corners. And again, in a U-shaped dinette, it totally works if you're wanting to swap your cushions. If you're having too much red wine and you spill on one side, you flip it over and you're good to go. With a standard 4-person dinette, we have 2 corners in the trailer that are round. And so your cushion has 3 squared corners and a round corner. And so it's not always ideal to flip and switch your cushions.
Okay.
So that's just something to keep in mind if your thought process for having a full wrap is the ability to have 2 sides to it. Something to think about too with the standard wrap is, if you have grandchildren or you are drinking too much red wine, this is easy to clean. So then you flip your cushion over and you sit on the vinyl side. If you've got wet bathing suits, sit on this side. If you've got a wet dog, sit on this side. So again, pros and cons, and it's just really thinking through how you're going to use your trailer and what makes the most sense for you.
Very nice. I brought a few samples here, and just for you out there to see that. So what we offer on our webpage is, we call it a samples order form. So you can select that form and you can select different samples, and what we do is we send them to you, and then you can lay them out at home and kind of play with them and see what might work best for you. This goes in conjunction with the flooring, with the countertop, so you can kind of select how you want that trailer to look like. We'll send it out your way, and then you can work with that.
And we'll also send samples of paneling too. So if you're wanting to see an oak or a maple pattern sample, as well as trim.
Yes.
And trim is what finishes the raw plywood edge of your countertops and your table. So those are also options that are available as samples.
So Joldie, if a customer doesn't really like any of these colors, what to do?
Yeah, so you have more choice. The choices are limitless. So if you can't find something you absolutely love with our standard offerings, then by all means, you have the ability to customize your trailer completely. And that's the same for flooring, fabric, and for mica. So if you want more information on customizing any of those 3 options, contact one of your customization specialists and they'll give you more information on what that looks like. Specific to fabric, we do need information from you prior to being able to confirm how much fabric would be required. In the 21NE, which is what we're sitting in right now, this trailer comes standard with a U-shaped dinette. The rest of the trailers, a U-shaped dinette is an option. So we would need to know, if you weren't selecting a 21NE as your trailer, if you were going with a U-shaped dinette, if you were going with a full wrap on your cushions, those will determine how much fabric you need, as well as we will need to see the fabric that you love. So we'll ask you to send us a link or a picture so that we can see if the fabric that you've selected has a pattern to it or a directional weave, because again, that's going to increase the amount of fabric required for your cushions. And
maybe just a little hint, our valances here will have the same fabric that we're using on the cushions.
Or you can pay additional if you'd like a second fabric choice, and then you would have your cushions in one fabric and your valances in a complementary fabric. So that's also an option. Very
nice. So you can really give it a personal touch and make it your home.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Joldie, for giving us that input.
Yes.
And if you have any questions, reach out to us, and Escape Trailer is built for you.